If you had told me in 2021 that 4 of the top 5 quarterbacks would be on a different team before the start of their 4th season, I would have called you crazy. Trey Lance was traded this past offseason. Zach Wilson, Justin Fields seemingly on the block, coming down the pipeline. Mac Jones becomes the most recent traded quarterback from that class. Jets! All right, gang, welcome in. We are talking a little bit about Mac Jones. He is traded from the New England Patriots to the Jacksonville Jaguars. This coming by way of Adam Schefter. Patriots are finalizing a deal to send quarterback Mac Jones to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sources tell ESPN the trade cannot be processed until the new league year begins Wednesday, 4 p.m., and he passes a physical. The two sides were discussing a 6th-round pick per sources. Jones was born in Jacksonville. Now he has a chance to go home. I always do kind of like those sort of stories where it's like, hey, at least you get to go back home to like a family-related area. You got friends and stuff like that. But screw Mac Jones. Fuck this guy. This guy's a real piece of garbage. He's like one of the most dirty players in the NFL, kicking dudes in the dick. Like, just, I'm not a big Mac Jones fan. 6th-round pick, though. So the conversation starts to happen as far as, okay, is Mac Jones the ceiling for what a Zach Wilson trade could be? Like, what is Zach's value? We saw Trey Lance go for a 4th-round pick just last season. Mac Jones seemingly going for a 6th-round pick this year. Mac Jones definitely has a better career so far than Zach Wilson. But, like, what does it mean for Zach's trade value? And what do the Jets do? Now, because Zach was taken number 2 overall and Mac Jones was taken 15th overall, or I think that was 15th, Zach's contract is going to be at a higher salary than Mac Jones. So there's some hurdles that the Jets may have to deal with in terms of that. Now, the Jets do have a roster bonus coming towards Zach Wilson that they can eat. It would be about $4 million to facilitate a trade. So if the Jets determine, hey, we can get a 5th-round pick, a 6th-round pick, whatever it is, but we have to eat that part of the contract, it makes more sense to do that. We'd only save $1 million by trading Zach's contract, but at least you're getting an asset in return and you're not going to wind up having to cut him. But I think the argument comes in is Trey Lance goes for a 4th, Mac Jones goes for a 6th. What is Zach Wilson's trade value? And I think it could be somewhere in the middle. I don't think we're getting a 4th-round pick, but like 5th through 7th, I think is entirely possible. And it's not something that is going to, go and compete to be a starter. This guy's going to be a backup quarterback for all intents and purposes. Now, as far as what I think you can get, Trey Lance had a lot of mystery around him. He was injured. There was no tape out on him, really. So you were betting on the upside there of a former number 3 overall pick. With Mac Jones, you kind of seen his ceiling. This dude's like a bag of milk, like walking around holding a football. Like, you're not getting a whole crazy ton from Mac Jones, but at least you have like a baseline, like young quarterback that maybe could perform a little bit better given some, extra opportunities. Like, let's say Trevor Lawrence winds up going down. Maybe there's a shot that you feel a little more comfortable. I don't like Mac Jones. I don't think he's a particularly good quarterback, but a 6th-round pick is definitely, I would like a 6th-round pick for Zach Wilson. I don't want to have a situation where we wind up getting, Zach Wilson cut and then we wind up eating the entire dead cap hit anyway. And I don't think there's a situation where the Jets bring back Zach Wilson on the roster in any capacity. Now, Aaron Rodgers did say, if Zach wants to be here, we want him here. So maybe there's some type of, something going on. If teams are not interested in trading for him, and Joe Douglas said, we're going to do what's in the best interest of the Jets, it's going to be pretty telling because the Jets are going to have to bring in a backup quarterback, which means you're paying, like in the situation where you have to cut Zach, you're bringing in a backup quarterback while already paying $11 million of your salary cap to Zach Wilson. So if you can't work out a trade, I think there may be some weird wonky situation where Zach could actually be back as quarterback too. I don't know if that's the case. It's super weird. And honestly, I would prefer to hold on to a Zach Wilson and have that kind of like upside at the very least, but it feels like everything's toxic between the coaching staff and like Woody making the comments at the honors meeting, at the NFL honors, saying we didn't even have a backup quarterback last year. Like, I think the ship has probably sailed on Zach Wilson. I guess it just comes down to what are the Jets actually going to be able to get? Are you going to have to throw in a draft pick to facilitate a trade? And maybe it's just like, hey, we'll give you Zach and a 7th for your 7th. And the Jets actually slide back, but it saves them some cap space that may ultimately help them out in the free agent period or something along those lines. I don't know. I don't particularly love this. I don't think it makes me feel warm and fuzzy. I do think Zach Wilson's upside is better than that of Mac Jones because of the incompetence perceived by the rest of the league about the New York Jets. We haven't been able to figure out, or we weren't able to figure out Mark Sanchez. We weren't able to figure out Geno Smith. We weren't able to figure out Sam Darnold. Now we weren't able to figure out Zach Wilson. At the very least, I think you can have a team gamble on the fact that Zach might be something because of our incompetence And that's kind of what I'm hoping for. We're going to push that narrative all the way across the finish line until we get a nice middle round pick and we all feel happy and we can get rid of the whole Zach Wilson thing situation. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of Zach Wilson's trade value? What do you think of Mac Jones getting shipped out of the division, heading down to Jacksonville? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets. Thank you guys so much for hitting the like and subscribe button on these videos. It goes a long way towards growing the channel. And then occasionally I get sponsors like this. So if you want to help support the sponsor of the channel or maybe just get yourself some cool gear or some good discounts, you can click the link in the description down below. Today's sponsor, 𝐶 is going to give you 25% off your order using promo code JetsTalk. Link in the description down below. They've got gummies, THC syrup, THC seltzers. I just discovered these things. They are incredible. As someone who has been trying to cut down a little bit of their alcohol consumption and not, maybe feel as crummy the next day, this has been a godsend for me. Keep me nice and calm, cool, and collected, especially with all the hurdles that our Jets throw our way and all the headaches that we got to deal with as fans. So if you guys want to help support the channel, maybe get yourself a little bit of a discount as well. Support the sponsors of the channel, 𝐶. Thank you so much for watching the show.